Hey, welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Jason, certified financial planner and host of Fighting Words Financial. I wanted to thank everyone who's tuning in today. I realize I've been gone for a while. I've done a couple of live streams, but I haven't really done any in-depth videos on any companies in a while because I decided to take a nice month-long vacation. And if you are capable of taking a vacation, I highly suggest you do this on a regular basis. I'm not going to be skipping my vacations anymore, but today I've got a great video lined up for you. This one could be very relevant for months and years ahead. We're going to be talking about BYD today. Now, you may have seen some of my previous videos discussing this company called BYD Limited or BYD Auto, the Chinese-based automobile manufacturer. But BYD & Co. Limited is not just one of the most important electric and hybrid vehicle manufacturers in China. It is really one of the most important companies in the world in some respects when it comes to this new energy economy that we're developing here worldwide. And perhaps they are better positioned than any other company on the planet right now to benefit from what comes next. BYD simply just does a lot of things, a lot of very different things. And after 2020 and going through the pandemic, if you bought a box of masks, you may have actually seen on the back of the box that these were produced by BYD in China. They are really far larger and far more important than most people realize. This is a company that's multinational with 230,000 employees on 4 different continents. Tesla, by contrast, only has about 37,000 employees. Now, much of the focus for this electric vehicle mania that we are going through right now tends to surround companies like Tesla and Nio. They get all of the positive press. They get most of the lines written in articles about electric vehicles on websites around the world and in newspapers, and people really seem to be sleeping on BYD. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of who BYD is and what they do, and then I'm going to do something that I've neglected to do in past videos, which is to dive into a little bit of a breakdown of BYD's electric and hybrid passenger vehicle lineup. And then we're going to round off with a look at how BYD shapes up against its competitors and get an idea of where the company is and where it could potentially be going in the future. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So what is BYD? Now, some of you guys may not have seen my previous videos on this company. If not, I recommend checking them out as I cover the company in more detail and I explore some of the reasons why Warren Buffett is probably such a big fan of this company and he's invested so much of his own money. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview of BYD here, however, and I'm going to provide context for the remainder of this video. So, BYD Auto, short for Build Your Dreams, is the automotive subsidiary of BYD Company Limited, which is a huge manufacturing company based in China but has 230,000 employees on 4 different continents. The BYD Auto subsidiary has been around since 2002 and produces a whole range of vehicles, including cars, buses, trucks, forklifts, and more. Now, not many people know this, but BYD actually produced the world's first production model plug-in hybrid car back in 2008. It actually beat the 2012 Prius plug-in hybrid and the 2011 Chevy Volt plug-in hybrid to market by a few years. In fact, there was a lot of hype around the release of this car. It was called the BYD F3DM, and coincidentally, this is around the time that Warren Buffett decided to purchase a $230 million stake in this company. Since then, BYD has been overshadowed by companies like Tesla and Nio, and they've primarily been focused on the Chinese market. This all changed around mid-2020, though, when the company announced its intentions to begin selling cars in Europe. Starting with the BYD Tang, this is the company's super popular electric SUV, and various commercial vehicles that are being offered. BYD's decision to expand their EV efforts throughout the world really couldn't have come at a better time. A recent report from Yahoo Finance noted that the global EV market is set to be valued at somewhere north of $805 billion within the next 6 years, which represents something like 400% growth over 2020 figures. Furthermore, BYD has already been performing really well in its homeland. In 2021 so far, vehicle sales in June increased 192% over last year's figures. Now, you're probably wondering what sets BYD's EV and plug-in hybrid lineup apart from other manufacturers. Well, as noted earlier, BYD actually has a quite broad focus when it comes to the automobile market, and that's really what I think sets them apart. That is the breadth of their offerings. They offer cars, buses, coaches, vans, trucks. All of those are being offered right now. However, BYD's passenger vehicles are where the company really shines and where I think that their focus is going to be going forward and where they're going to make real headway in the market. Right now, BYD still offers two types of passenger vehicles: plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars. These plug-in hybrids work similarly to traditional hybrids in the sense that they have an onboard battery that can be charged either through an external power source or by the car's internal engine. Right now, about half of BYD's passenger vehicles use this system. These models include the super popular BYD Chin, the Chin Plus, the Chin Pro, along with the BYD Song. These two models make up the bulk of BYD's compact sedan and SUV sales. In 2020, the company began offering a luxury sedan called the BYD Han, which comes in both plug-in hybrid and all-electric versions. Finally, the BYD Tang, classed as a mid-size SUV, is also offered in both plug-in hybrid and all-electric variants. And on June 21st of 2021, the first 100 BYD Tangs equipped with that latest lithium ferrophosphate battery technology, that blade battery that BYD company makes, and having a range of 314 miles, those first 100 Tang SUVs were exported to Norway. In recent years, BYD has been focusing more and more on fully electric vehicles and now has a stellar lineup available for general sale. The mega popular BYD E series of vehicles is probably a lineup of vehicles that you've never heard of. It's a lineup of fully electric vehicles produced by BYD that includes a city car, a compact hatchback, a compact sedan, and a compact MPV. The BYD Yuan, launched in 2016, is a fully electric crossover SUV with a similar body type to larger SUVs and offers a more luxury driving experience. Finally, BYD even produces a compact multi-purpose vehicle model called the D1, which has been developed alongside the company Didi. It's marketed exclusively towards ride-hailing services that operate in China. So as you can see, BYD has quite the selection of electric vehicles, and these don't even include their non-passenger vehicles. But how do BYD's vehicles compare to other Chinese EV manufacturers? Well, in a word, fantastically. Nio seems to definitely get the most column inches in blogs and the most airtime when it comes to EV companies in China, yet a recent report from CNBC noted that BYD actually sold twice as many electric passenger vehicles as Nio in March. Specifically, BYD sold around 16,300 cars in March, while Nio only sold just over 7,200 vehicles. Xpeng fared even worse, selling about 5,100 vehicles in that particular month. Using even more recent data, BYD announced that the company sold 18,711 battery-only passenger vehicles in May, far higher than Nio's figure of 6,711. Even more promising for BYD is that the company's founder, Wang Chuanfu, is incredibly optimistic and enthusiastic about the growing EV market. He stated in early June that he believes that new energy vehicles such as plug-in hybrids and electric cars will account for 70% of all new car sales in China by 2030. This is pretty optimistic considering that the Chinese government doesn't think this will happen until about 2050. If this comes to pass, it means undoubtedly great things for BYD and this company's bottom line. So overall, folks, I find it really surprising that BYD isn't getting the same amount of acclaim as Nio and Xpeng, even though I'm a really big fan of Xpeng and Nio. Right? BYD's lineup of passenger vehicles is actually pretty exceptional. It doesn't get a lot of press coverage, and they have a massive variety of car types that appeal to various demographics, and that's really important here. When it comes to Nio and Xpeng, they have sort of picked the demographic that they want to appeal to. BYD seems to want to have that much broader appeal. Evidently, BYD's cars are making an impact on the Chinese market. Just look at the sales figures compared to their rivals. So I keep an eye on BYD, particularly over the next 6 to 12 months. If their plans to expand in Europe start to bear fruit, we could see this company start to become a serious rival to Nio, Xpeng, and Tesla. And I think that could be very, very exciting. All right, folks, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts on BYD. Do you think that this expansion into the European market could establish them as one of the front runners in the EV marketplace? Also, I always forget to do this at the end of my videos. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video. It would mean a lot to me. And also, if you're history buffs, I want to see if you guys recognize something special about all of the different model names for the BYD cars. Finally, if you would like what you see and you want to check out more, check out my Patreon for exclusive content and you get to interact with me directly. I'll leave a link in the bio. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.